And we are now live. Welcome, everyone. Friends, haters, lovers,
Countrymen.
gamers, bastards,
Thank you.
Twitch bitches. You know who you are. This is the OGL Podcast number 49? Yes, 49. Shut up. Anyway, that's my wife, folks. Anyway, tonight is going to be a night of positive negativity. I know it may sound weird, but look at the topics, you'll see exactly what I mean. But before we get started, let me go ahead and let my bastards introduce themselves, starting with the the troll himself, Kenoshi.
This is Kenoshi Abominito here with one
No
question.
more orange juice.
Do you guys light up at 4:20 a.m. or 4:20 p.m.?
What the hell? and, and next up is the guy that said he couldn't make it, but I guess things change, huh?
Yep, damn Skippy. Let's get this started.
I'm glad you came, man. I really do appreciate it. You hadn't been here in like 2-3 months, so
Man, shit happens, man.
no, shit only happens when you can't make it happen. Anyway, Shep.
What's going on, y'all? Remember, don't drink and ink unless you're me. Then you're good.
All right. Well, the first topic of tonight, let me get it pulled up here, since it is about positive negativity, is that, well, the CNET kickstand video. Now, I'm sure we've all seen it, and I say positive negativity because we know it's actually, if we find it comical, but we also see it as them trying to spread whatever negative narrative they can regarding the Nintendo Switch, since the hype meter is through the roof, even more so than the PS4. But yeah, if you saw this video that looks like a dramatic playback you will find on some type of American History Channel or some shit, they really go out of their way to either knock the Switch down, or they go so far as even bend the stand itself to see if it will snap off. So tell me your thoughts about that, guys.
Talking about.
um, I have a more important video that's way better and far more in depth. And this is why I'm not gonna get the Switch on day one. You see, they just proved the other day. I'll send the link later. I forgot the name of the website. That if you run your car over the Switch, it doesn't work. You totally break it.
What the?
So you gotta remember, Nintendo's dropping the ball. You should not be able. I mean, seriously, you're telling me I can't drive over my Switch with a car and it still won't work? That's BS. Next, you're gonna tell me hitting it with a sledgehammer is gonna be bad for the Switch.
Shut the
What
hell
kind of
up.
nonsense is that, dude?
Why would you? You know what? People are stupid. I'm just gonna leave it at that. And we'll have if you just listen, audience. If you just accept that people are dumb, you'll have a lot better life. Dealing with people will be a lot easier. Just realize that.
And check this out in the chat. Insane, insane gamer said, "I have expected you to put it on the floor and kick it over." I'm sorry, man, but it was
Well, I
overly
thought the same
dramatic how
thing,
they did
actually. I
it.
was waiting for them to try that as well.
I mean, to me, I was thinking like, you guys, it's really not that serious. And the way that he kept taking the Joy Cons off, and like it was so difficult, and then knocking it over, it's like, dude, you're not convincing me that this is that difficult. You really are not. I don't understand why you're really trying this hard to convince people that the kickstand is flimsy. It it holds it just fine. What are you stacking this thing on? Why would you put it through that much trouble? No one touches their tablets that much when they're using them, and they have them on a kickstand of some sorts.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole Joy-Con thing either. They just want everything, every other thing. They want a bunch of the system to have a bunch of problems. So I don't want to buy it, and people just keep supporting the X-Bone and the BS4.
Listen,
It's all
listen,
about.
dude, leave my port station 4 alone. I have you know
Well, all right, Chris.
it plays great movies.
All right, Chris.
And the occasional video
all
game.
right, Chris.
Come on, man. You have to go that far, Shep. It plays great movies, really?
Hey, nothing plays like Blu-ray. And who's the best at Blu-ray? Sony.
An outdated format.
Huh?
I mean,
Well, I never said
the
it was
whole
the best format. I'm saying they're the best at using that format. Right? Oh no, actually they're not, because the Wii U adopted their own version, and it's actually far more efficient. But Nintendo don't know what they're doing. Sorry. Continue.
No, I was gonna say. I mean, the whole CNET article, and whatnot. I mean, this is nothing new because whatever Nintendo does, people gonna try to find something to nitpick, and it spreads like wildfire. It's always been like this since the GameCube.
Truthfully, if I don't see shade thrown at Nintendo, I'd be concerned. It's gotten to that point. If they don't throw shade
Really?
Nintendo's way, it's like it makes me paranoid.
I mean, it's at the point now where only if Microsoft or Sony leaves the hardware business, that's when things will probably get back to how it used to be.
Yeah, good
Like,
luck with that.
third or fourth generation.
Microsoft's going to leave the hardware business before Sony, that's for sure.
I
Halo
love this
6.
on the stage.
Halo 6, Windows, it's going to be on Windows 10. Yep, it's over. It's over. Back in Microsoft, the Xbox division is dead. Dead, son, dead.
But going back to the kickstand thing, just to me, if you got to find something so small to nitpick at, like for example, they didn't try this hard to nitpick at the light bar on the DualShock 4 controller. They didn't nitpick this hard on the Xbox 360 D-pad. These type of things, it's like, come on. You guys did not go so far as to nitpick these things, because to you, in your mind, it's like they were very insignificant. But now, one of the three modes you can play the Switch in, your concern is the kickstand if you somehow abuse the console while you're playing.
And the thing is, a lot of these...
I think that's great. Because if it's gotten to the point where that's all they could complain about, that means the system's pretty solid. Think about it.
A lot of these complaints we have about these consoles, like the D-pad and the light bar, I hear people complain about it. It's just they don't get a lot of press. They don't get a lot of press, and so because Nintendo doesn't represent the sort of industry that the media wants, because they're all a bunch of adults that are afraid of being accused of being children. So.
Yeah,
I fear it that much.
Don't get it, man. I just found that, like I said, it was funny to me, and I'm pretty sure to most of us it was, because we can see that we would like to believe that was just some type of parody video, just someone taking it too far, like an exaggeration. But the fact that they really did release a video about this and was trying to make it as a negative point, it's like, I really want to laugh, and I am laughing, but it's kind of like I'm saddened because you're taking it seriously. So it was a good laugh for me. But at the same time, I was like, this industry just proves to be more and more pathetic by the day.
Yeah, it's like they're laughing and shaking their head at the same time, like
that IGN quote unquote review they did. Thing.
Oh gosh, man.
Yeah, he contradicted himself at the end.
What?
Dude, I'm sorry. I didn't even get through this. I got through half of it. But basically, what happened, they were giving their little Switch, review impressions of the console overall. But then they said, like, in the title, we're going to try to give our impressions, like, so far, but without the online connectivity and things being active, we can't give a full and accurate review. And my first thought was
review in progress is what they always title those videos. For games and other stuff that requires an internet, like they'll say it's a review in progress.
But my response to that was
GTA 5 had an incomplete
exactly. And that wasn't a review in progress. They reviewed that damn game and gave it a 10.
What game is that?
Well, like the good old Dr. Dre said,
GTA.
Remember when GTA 5 came out in September? It was like late September, the online then wasn't available for 2 weeks afterwards. But they
Yeah.
actually reviewed the entire game as a whole on its release day.
Yeah, they should have online should have been there should have been a review in progress. But
And to
again,
make
this
it
industry,
hilarious, when they finally reviewed the online, guess what? They did it separately, so it wouldn't affect the original
But see,
score.
but here's the thing: they never went back. They never went back
Of
to
course not.
re-review GTA 5. And since the online was half the damn game, then they went back to re-review it to see if it still earned that perfect 10. They just left it the way it is. But now you're saying you can't completely review the Switch because the online shit is not there. Well, let me get this straight. Did you grade the PS4 and the Xbox One online capability the day they launched, or did you just grade the system based on its power?
Based on this power, because I went and looked at the reviews of those two consoles.
But see, now Nintendo has to have everything up and running before you can give your full in-depth review. Okay, I see where this is going.
And like I said, he contradicted himself in because he's like, "Oh man, the handheld mode is awesome," but then he gets to the bottom and he's like, "Oh, it's an inconvenience. This system is an inconvenience. How's it an inconvenience when you can play it on the go?"
I don't know. This is probably the most convenient system I've seen. Yeah.
But see, you know what they're trying to do, right? They're doing whatever they can to stifle this hype. Ask yourself, when's the last time you felt this hype for any console? If you are hyped for and you plan on getting it, when's the last time you felt so compelled to buy a console?
Nintendo 64.
It's been a long time.
The original Wii, maybe?
Probably the GameCube or the PlayStation 2.
I think the Wii sold itself, though.
Yeah, it did. But if you think about it,
Wii.
this console,
I didn't
much
want to
like the
play with
Wii,
you. Get out
and
of
much like
here.
the 64, it's a revolution. It really is. And they're not liking that. Nobody, like the people that would normally be negative and bash Nintendo, they're not happy right now. They're not. They are not. And I'm gonna put this out there. This is slightly off tangent, but Levelhead made a video, and shout out to him in response to, I guess, one of Shokyo's recent videos. Now, I didn't go watch Shokyo's video because I have one. I don't subscribe to his content because I think he flip flops. I do. I think he does. He's went from being a Nintendo fan to being someone that he does what he needs to do to get more subs. That's my opinion. I could be
He's
wrong.
going the popular route, and I love how he tries to claim otherwise.
Yeah, and I agree with Levelhead video, but the stuff he commented on, I made a comment and I said, this is why I don't subscribe to him. He's so entitled. And according to Levelhead, the title of his video, it says, it says something like, it's not incomplete. It's a preference or something like that. So basically, I guess Shokyo's whole thing was, hey, since it's not launching with Netflix, since it's not launching with all the things that have become popular to the casual crowd, then it's a rushed, incomplete system.
Which is funny
Really?
because his biggest complaint about the Wii U is that they need to make this for the hardcore gamers. Why they couldn't making it so convenient for the
Okay.
Exactly.
and
And that's exactly why I called him out.
for the gamer by the gamer. That they
Okay,
can
so like,
still kind
okay,
of
to
give a try.
backtrack on this convo, if you don't mind me, because I went and I wanted to check something. Since you guys were talking about how the review on IGN was contradictory, it sounded. I think I figured I think I figured out who was going to review it beforehand because he was on GameScoop talking about it. And the same guy who reviewed the Switch, he's a very PC heavy guy, and he also gave Street Fighter V like an 8 out of 10 on release day because he loves fighting games and loves the mechanics of it.
Yeah, that disqualifies him immediately.
Yeah.
Like here's
the immediate bias. Like,
well, I mean, here's
the guy who reviewed it is very biased against consoles in general because he's a very PC heavy guy who likes PC gaming.
Okay, so basically, basically IGN did this.
He's their main hardware guy because he likes PC hardware and like consoles.
Oh, so that makes sense
a little bit
because
biased
if he wants to, the other two systems are basically half PCs. So
yeah, but they're
I just want to check.
They're all the bullshit and none of the strengths.
I said half PC. I didn't say what half.
Yeah.
But back to the point though. Like honestly, I have never directly.
Oh yeah, I think it was him. I think it was him that because they were talking about the online about the Switch, and he's like, well, they're not gonna have it like online, but it's like I don't think Nintendo's ever made like an online game before.
Dr. Feelgood, you're hosting this
Like they don't have
test.
any games that you could really play online. I don't think so. Maybe it's better for them to
What'd
wait
you say,
till
Shep?
fall.
Permission to be a partial misogynist, which is a total I am. Perry, I freaking love your. Okay, that's all I gotta say.
Well, I mean,
Excellent background.
the thing is like, okay, fair enough. Fair enough. In his opinion, Nintendo hasn't made a heavy online game, conveniently forgetting Mario Kart 8. Like the biggest selling single IP game on
That doesn't
console
count because
last
that
year.
doesn't count because there's Mario in the title.
But no,
Yeah, you're right.
but see, the issue I had, and I like I said, I agree with Levelhead. So just because the system doesn't have shit that you think it should have, does not mean you have the right to disparage the system as a whole. Hey, if you have a preference, that's perfectly fine with that. But at the end of the day, you can't say a system is complete trash because it lacks one or two features you think it should have.
Yeah,
And then his response was this: other consoles launch with these things out the gate. I said, really? I said, okay, let's put that into perspective, shall we? The PS4 did not launch external hard drive support. In fact, it just got it about what, a few weeks to a month ago. It just got the shit.
about a month ago, yeah.
And so I
Something.
said, and now his response. Now someone else's response was, "Well, that's not a fair comparison because those features are relatively new." I said the Wii U had it in 2012 at launch. The PlayStation and the Xbox One launched in 2013. That shit was not new, buddy. Another system did it before them that was supposedly less powerful and less capable. So I want to hear that bullshit. I said, what about backwards compatibility? PS4 doesn't have it. Wii U had it. Even the Wii had it.
Not the Xbox One. And no, downloading shit from last gen and all that.
Exactly.
That's not backwards compatibility.
And so when I put that out there, of course, you hear crickets on response. They move the goalpost to something else, and then now this is shit that got me laughing. And I told you guys I haven't been responding to shit, but this is my first time getting a chance to really talk to him directly when he responded to me. So I thought I would go ahead and acknowledge it. But his response is this: it wasn't. This ain't the features that I want. These are the features that the masses want. So let me get this straight. So now you're concerned about the masses. When Smash Bros. Came out, you were concerned about the competitive crowd.
That's the same
But now you want
excuse he made before.
No, wait a second.
I told you, no, I got it. Let me finish it, and you can totally go after that. I told you this in that same post, Doc. Why are you wasting your time with people who use the argument strictly on emotion and opinion? As long as they have that mindset, you will not make any progress, no matter how much facts you throw at them.
Well, here's the
entitled, spoiled, immature, over the top, opinionated little brat.
God.
It's the damn truth. He annoys me to
the nth degree. Here's the thing. First of all, this is the same fucking argument he made when he started that bullshit. What was it like?
The redirect.
4 years ago with the Nintendo redirect. Except he flipped the scope, the magnitude. He was like, well, someone who claims to be a Nintendo fan but really hasn't played a ton of games that they've made, but I'm an expert on the franchises. He's an expert at Metroid, only played Metroid Prime. Basically, he was like, well, I'm doing the redirect because I'm speaking for the gamers. And he's like, the Wii U needs to be
stupid little fanboys that follow him. That's what you're talking about.
The Wii U needs to be more of a core console. And I'm listening to some of this guy's bullshit. And I'm like, you do realize that like the Wii was their ultra casual console, and the Wii U was them attempting because I'm pretty sure Nintendo knew with the Wii U, they're like, look, we're not gonna have another Wii like success. We can get some of those Wii people on board, but this is gonna have to be more of a core console. And they tried, and it failed. So clearly core gamers didn't want this because core gamers have fallen into the bullshit, which is, oh well, like I read part of a partial review where someone must be eating dinner right now.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I basically I read part of a partial review and someone's like, well, this the Nintendo Switch isn't powerful enough. You do realize that consoles, like if you want a really powerful gaming platform, you need to either build or buy a fucking PC. Because if you're expecting if you're expecting a console to be incredibly powerful and run things,
only $300.
Exactly. I mean, show me what fucking PC you can build for $300. Oh hell, let's throw in a game and a controller. $450. Okay,
Well, you know what though?
What PC can you build for $450 that's going to let you do the shit you can do with the Switch? Please.
Actually, now that you bring up power real quick, a small tangent. Another person posted on Twitter today. Now, this is no one I know personally, but I think Zobi knew him or whatever. I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But this person he posted a little, GIF or whatever showing Zelda on the Wii U. And his statement was, Zelda on Wii U suffers from massive frame rate drops. I said, okay. I said, define massive. I said, is it 2 frames, 5 frames? Is it 15 frames? And is it all over the game? He literally only had a 20-second video in one spot rotate the damn camera. I shit you not. And I said, well, I don't see any context here. I said, provide me some context. At least, like you just saying it has massive frame rate drops. Is this in comparison to the Switch version? Because if so, it needs to be running side by side so we can see it. He says, when we rotate the camera, you can see it dropping or stuttering. I said, well, actually, I'm looking at a video that you or someone else uploaded, excuse me, online, which depending on what capture device they use, with website they use or whatever, that could be generating the frame rate stutter that we see here. I say, I see numbers, no equipment.
That's what causes it.
I said, I see no numbers, no equipment, nothing for comparison, just nothing but your damn word. I said, so provide me proof. Otherwise, I think you're full of shit. And then he said, well, it's a fact that it does suffer from a massive frame rate. I said, so, okay, so once again, how many frames? What did you use to determine this? I said, because I just see you standing in one spot. And if you're not walking down the hill, running across a plane, fighting a monster, I don't see shit. I don't see anything happening. And then after I asked for that proof, guess what? Try over and over saying the same shit, but didn't provide me anything extra what I was asking. Not even one thing. Crickets.
Yeah, but you already know that's the standard pattern. They make these bold claims with little to no evidence. And, but because they say it passionately again and again, and the other idiots say the same damn thing, suddenly becomes relevant. Relevant.
I mean, the thing is like these people are arguing an opinion and like their own fanboyish opinion about things. Like, okay, like here's the thing, okay. Now there's nothing wrong with having an opinion about things. Like I said, anyone knows
facts to back it up. Goddamn.
Well, yeah, anyone knows I don't like Microsoft. But if you ask me why I don't like Microsoft, it's not like I'm like, well, I don't like that fucking logo. I have like a series of reasons why I don't like them that actually are rooted in shit that they've done. Not just, oh, well, fuck Cliff Blazinski and that stupid ass Lancer gun that they toted around for the 360 for like 3 years. Like,
but see, to me, it goes beyond that because, and then when one person said, I think someone came in and, they said something in response to me. I said, well, look, I have nothing against this guy. I don't even know him. I said, but I do have something against the spreading of misinformation. You claim something is operating or performing a certain way. Okay, prove it. At least when Digital Foundry does shit, they have equipment running and they show you side. Now, I'm not saying the most reliable source, but at least they sometimes will show you a side-by-side comparison or some type of graph that shows where a frame or two may have dropped. We're saying massive frame rate drops in the Wii U version. Show me this shit.
Well, I mean,
because from what I've seen, there hasn't been any. There are a couple, but nothing massive.
Here's the thing: I've read like a couple of reviews where they say when shit is hectic, there's a few frame rate drops here and there. Here's the problem with people starting shit about that argument. Like almost every fucking game that people have been playing, when it gets hectic, even on these so-called super powerful consoles, even on PC, things get hectic when there's a lot of shit going on. So what's your point? Like, does it make the game unbeatable? Is it affecting gameplay? I mean, I'm gonna keep it real. I would think the left control, the left Joy-Con desync issue is more of an issue than fucking a little bit of frame rate stutter at some point.
Like my thing is like when these consoles started using like PC parts, that's when people was like, "Oh my god, the frame rate drops is killing me," because we all played games from like Super Nintendo and N64 where there was frame rate drops, but we enjoyed those games just fine.
We were like, well, no, that's not true. The Sega fanboy was like, we got a game like that. There was no slowdown. That blast processing.
That blast processing.
But I mean, look.
Listen, Nintendo can't blast process.
Just like
let it go.
Like we as like video gamers were more carefree about the games we play compared to now, where it's just
we just wanted fun. We like here's the thing. Frame rate.
Another part of the problem is that we played games when it wasn't popular.
Exactly.
We have a lot more casuals and people that play games because it's the cool thing to do.
Exactly.
Because that's what it is. It's like game, like Call of Duty. Yeah, man, I play Call of Duty, and I do my little Street Fighter 5. I'm like, okay, what else do you play? Or I do my GTA. What else do you play? Oh, that's it.
Well,
this brings up something else, and this is what Terminator Juice said today on Twitter, and shout out to him. He made a post. He said, "So we still got people out there saying, well, if it didn't have Zelda, if the Switch didn't have Zelda," he's like, "Dude, it has Zelda. So why we keep talking about if it didn't? What if it didn't? You wouldn't buy it. If it didn't, it wouldn't be a great purchase." Or I said, at the end of the day, it does have it. And then my response was, and even Ruler 2 agreed. I say, you know what's so funny? The PlayStation 4 did not have Uncharted at launch, and the Xbox did not have Halo 5 at launch.
Nope.
And I said they didn't even have it within the launch year of the system or the first year.
They just had Mac.
And let's keep it
and
real.
They still did better than that trash system Wii U.
And let's keep it. Well, the Xbox One was doing pitifully in the first 2 years, and I mean, Microsoft had to do some drastic stuff like cutting off arms and limbs and selling organs in order to get that system to sell. And even now, it's not really like it's selling. I think it's selling at a barely break even or still with a slight loss at this point. I mean, the thing is this. Like we know Breath of the Wild is going to come out, and it's going to be fucking awesome. Whether you have it on the Wii U or the Switch, it's going to be a fucking awesome game. Remember when the Halo Master Chief Collection came out on the Xbox One?
Oh shit, still broken.
Isn't that shit still broken? I mean, isn't that game? I mean, like, and here's the thing. Like, okay, I readily admit, Breath of the Wild may have some parts where there might be some frame stuttering, maybe some frame drops. But you know what? But I mean, that's not a core part of the franchise. Halo Master Chief Collection, the online matchmaking is still garbage. And here's the thing. People played, some people are like me and played Halo for the campaign. Halo 1, Halo 2, Halo 3. But most people played Halo because they like that fucking multiplayer, that online multiplayer. And you know what? If the core part of your fucking game is online multiplayer and you can't even get that shit to work right, what can you say?
It doesn't matter. They're not Nintendo, so therefore they get
they get a pass. Yep, it's Microsoft. They get a pass.
And Insane Gamer said in the chat, and this is something else I forgot about, but I will bring up here as a topic. About them basically saying the milking game has been seen as more of a simulating sex act of 1-2 switch.
Yeah, that was a joke. That was a joke, and someone stupidly took that too far. But here's what I'll say about that 1-2 switch milking game. the sounds that it makes when you're using it do sound kind of. It doesn't help that the milk is so very white. It just doesn't.
And Perry. Look at Perry's profile picture.
Oh man!
You guys finally noticed that? Anyway, whatever.
Yeah, that. I mean, the gushing sounds are just too. I mean, I can understand why someone. Although here's the thing, it tells you how sick someone's mind is. Where the first thing they come up with is, well, that's clearly perverted and a sex act. Well, actually, he's milking a cow. What were you thinking he was doing?
I thought he was checking off a bull.
I had to go milk that cow. We don't have a cow. We have a bull.
That's an unfortunate term. I mean, we can start making jokes about cuckold. Is that a cuckolding joke or something?
I mean, but see, then again, once again, the point is, people are taking anything and trying to turn it negative.
And it's not working.
The best way to clickbait is to.
You got the Shokyo saying out there saying, hey, you know what, this console's incomplete, or it has no games, or all they got it launch is Zelda. Dude, when Nintendo gave us their first list of 5 launch games, what's the first thing they told us? We'll have more announcements as leading up to the launch. Now, how many games have they revealed are going to actually be launching on the day of? It's over 10 now, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's well over 10 now. You can go ahead and say, well, those are indies. Just because the game is made by a small third-party company does not mean it's not worth owning. Because I do want
What people don't realize, a lot of their favorite companies started small.
Yeah,
and indies.
And let's keep it real. At the rate studios have been fucking closing since Xbox entered the games industry. Shout out to
the new third parties. Let's just be real.
Yeah, and let's keep it real. Okay, look. People I keep on hearing people come up with this fucking excuse. Well, is the Switch is not powerful enough for these games to get onto the system. They can't port their games over to the Switch. First of all, okay, everything's scalable nowadays, and if people are putting their games on a scaled down version on a fucking tablet and a smartphone, believe me, they can put it on this system. Which I believe is still 1.5 times more powerful than the Wii U. Even though it's in a very compact format.
I made a comment on that. I seen what was it? One of the developers, one of the major publishers said,
Listen,
we'll port our game if it sells well. Like they said, we'll port our game if it sells well. I said so. That basically confirms to me that you could have ported all your damn games to the Wii U, no problem. You just chose not to do it because the money wasn't there in your mind.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
And I can't see why people can't see this now. People say, well, the Wii U had no games. It's like a developer just came out and said, we'll consider porting our game if it sells well.
And
they didn't say, well, we'll check and see if development will be difficult. They said if it sells well.
That was Bethesda. Bethesda fucking said that. Okay. Bethesda said, look, if Skyrim on the Switch sells well, it won't. I mean, it probably okay. It probably
this shit.
Well, here's the thing. That was me. It probably will sell. Skyrim on the Switch will probably sell maybe 1 million. Okay, which I mean, considering that they're using an old build of the game, and this game is like 5 years old at this point,
and they've never released such a game on a Nintendo console ever, and they've already made shit tons of money from that series.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, here's the thing.
1 million should be a good thing.
Yeah, here's the thing about Skyrim. Okay, most of the people who really are gaga over Skyrim who have the best version of it, which is on a PC. However, look, inevitably the Switch is going to be picked up by casual fans of this system, and they're going to buy. They're like, "Oh, this game looks interesting, and this might breathe new life into the game."
Hey, this looks like the Zelda game I played.
Yeah, and if shit, hell no. But if
you know what I mean.
Yeah, if the game sells well. The game sells well enough.
You said casual people.
Yeah, if the game sells well enough, I think that they might port a version of Fallout 4 to the system. Which, I mean, look, here's the thing. Skyrim, the same engine that they used to make Skyrim, they also use for Fallout 4. So, I mean, you could see Fallout 4 on the system. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
I mean, and don't be wrong. Like, I think that almost any game that could have been ported to the Wii U but didn't can make it to this system. The same way they ported Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 1 and 3, as well as World at War to the Wii. I don't want to hear it. Now, the only difference was it had downgraded graphics. So it was 480p, but it had all the features, 60 frames per second. I don't want to hear it. I really, if you say you're not going to port your game, fine. Just like, for example, when Project Cars pulled that bullshit with the Wii U, I said, I'm not going to buy your game. Even Mr. T was like, you know what? If you make a shitty product or you make a shitty move, I'm not going to buy your game on any console. Period. Even if it is better. They just gave away Project Cars last month for free on Xbox Live. And guess what? I did not download this shit, even though it's free.
Well, I mean, also, it's not a very good game.
What a lot of these people don't realize is that most Nintendo gamers usually have about 2 systems.
Yep.
So, but we don't tolerate nonsense. So if you purposely screw us over on the Nintendo, there's very little chance you'll buy it on our other platform.
Yep.
So you just screwed yourself out of another sale.
And here's the thing.
Somebody double dipping, but people are like, no.
And here's the thing: we really don't like Nintendo gamers are really big about not getting shafted. Like, we don't like to get effed over, and when you do, we remember that shit. We're like, you know what? I remember your face. I remember what you look like, and you never gonna get to do that shit again. Which is why you see a lot of Nintendo gamers just like, we don't buy certain games. Like third parties are like, well, Nintendo gamers, our games don't do well. If you didn't F us over so often, we wouldn't do that. I mean, look, you treat us nice, we'll treat you nice. It's a reciprocal engagement. But if you're gonna treat us like garbage,
if you get a guy, well, a chick, and every other date you go on, she does you dirty, she maybe make you pay extra, or she ditches you on the bill or some other nonsense, are you going to keep going on dates with her?
Well, I'm not going to answer that because sometimes she can pay you in ways that don't involve money.
If you're a Sony, no offense, but if you're a Sony fan and Xbox fan, the answer to that question would be a resounding yes.
Yes. Like, she not only
that is a poor analogy. Sorry.
You take a girl out. You take a girl out on a date.
In the words of Red Knight, yes, I will keep them spread and keep ramming me.
Yeah. Like as a matter of fact, according to these gamers on those consoles who game,
have another.
I'm not saying all gamers are like this, but a lot of gamers who game on the PS4 or the Xbox One, basically third parties and how these companies themselves treat you is like, you took a girl out on a date and you're paying the full bill, but then in the middle of the date, she sees someone she likes better, and she's already eaten. She says, "I gotta go." I got to the bathroom and ditches your ass and leaves with that other dude, and you're stuck with the bill. You're like, shit, I paid all this money and I got very little to no enjoyment out of it. My God, what's happened?
I got a question for all you guys and for you guys in the chat. Seriously, serious question. Why is it that today's gamer only cares about own titles or games? Like, for example, to me, a game like, what's it called? The Hawaiian Showdown?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
that's Retro City Rampage's sequel, yeah.
But see, that game
I love Retro City.
looks ridiculously fun. Pocket Fighter? That looks ridiculously fun.
Yeah.
What was the other game? The Flipping Death?
Yeah.
It looks
then
fun.
there's another game that reminded me of Advance Wars. I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, that showcases a lot more
but see, even a game like Fast RMX, people are completely ignoring these games. People are out there still saying, well, besides Zelda, it does not really let anything else come out. Because forgive me for saying this. Please don't want my ass.
These don't count. How many times I gotta tell you?
I'm saying this, but I actually watched about 10 minutes of a podcast that basically the people on it were Active Sin and Real Gamer.
Yeah.
You fucked up. I need to beat your ass.
Now, hold on. Now, they're not the only people, but because I heard this all over on social media. But Of course, I heard it once again. With the Switch, basically the only game available, it launches Zelda. Then the next game won't come out until Mario Kart in April. Then after that, it'll be Mario Odyssey in the fall, and there's not much else in between. I'm like, dude, they just announced like fucking 50 games between now and April. Now I understand a great deal of those are what you want to call indies, but they are third party, and a lot of those games, Fast RMX does not look like some Mario 8-bit game. It doesn't. And even if it did look that way, why is it that we only pay attention to the major titles? Mario Kart, Call of Duty, Uncharted. Whatever
Okay,
happened to, you
the
know
same,
what?
the
This is
same
a video
as
game. It looks fun as hell. It's lesser known. 'Cause we've all heard podcasts and people say,
okay.
name the sleeper hits.
Put a Hyundai Elantra next to a Lamborghini Aventura. Which one are people gonna pay attention to?
Of course, I know that. But we're talking about games. You can't know how fun a game is truly unless you play it.
See
There are people right
and
now.
that's where you screwed up. You keep on trying to equate fun with video games. That's not what it's about. It's about popularity. Nobody gives a damn about fun anymore. Is
No,
Well,
it
it's
that's
not
a
popular?
about
dirty
that.
word,
That's
Pat. I mean, I've
that's
said
And
this
and
before.
and
That's
then
a dirty word.
Very dirty.
you know what though? I think it was John Shaw. I think so. But even he made a video saying, when did third party become, more
The only
important?
party that matter.
Become more important than first party. Like when did they become the entree instead of being the appetizer, basically?
So, 7th gen.
You know why? Because the
Well,
only
no,
first party worth the damn is Nintendo. But
Yeah,
since
so
Nintendo is
it's,
the outcast, of
they
course
don't
they're gonna
count.
shit it.
Yeah.
yeah, it
Exactly.
was
So
seventh. It was 7th gen, and
You want to know? You
plus
want to
not
know
to
who?
mention. Actually, I would argue that it was the PlayStation because a lot of the PlayStation games, a lot of these people cheer and hype up, especially when they talk about the past. Those were from third-party
Third party
companies.
games. Yeah, but here's the
Yeah.
of
thing.
course.
Most of those third party companies got their start on Nintendo consoles. I'm gonna tell you when this shit got
They
off the rails. When
they
it when
suck it.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you when this shit got off the rails, okay? When the Xbox 360 launched and Steve batshit crazy Ballmer went out there and said,
Yeah.
developers, and started money hatting all these fucking third party games. Because third parties started taking the windfall money as normal income, and they ballooned their studios out. They started putting games out at a fantastic rate for a console that lost Microsoft billions, and people bought it. They were like, man, they enjoyed the largesse without understanding the cost that went behind getting this largesse. It wasn't like manna from heaven fell from the sky, and it was just no cost involved. These studios
I love your
started,
choice of words, by the way.
yeah, they started basically counting on these checks to make things work. And then when Microsoft said, "Oh, we got you, you dummies. We're not going to money hat anymore. We got you locked in with a contract." These studios started shutting down. They started having to go under. They started having to let people go. And the quality of these third-party games went down, but they were locked in these shitty contracts. And that's what happened. That's why you see all these dumbasses. What about third party? What about fucking third party? What's your point? What? It's not like the third-party games are any high quality nowadays, because most of them aren't. They look pretty, and then you play them and you're like,
yeah, that's all people
this
care
was
about.
gorgeous garbage.
All they care about is the graphics and if it has online play or not. If it doesn't have either one, they're like, oh, I don't want that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
But
the
even
thing.
that doesn't
They're
count.
going. They're
Because
going
if the
to
graphics
where
are
all
really
their.
well, but it's colorful, then that's also a fail.
They're
Yep.
going to where all their friends are going because everybody's playing the Call of Duties and the Maddens and the Street Fighters and all the other things.
Do I have
So-
to repeat what your parents said? If everyone
And
jumped
of
off the
course-
bridge,
and
would you do
it's
it
a-
too?
It's a false sense of ego too. I'm a badass in this game. I'm a warrior in Call of Duty and Halo and blah blah blah. And I'm a real man's man.
But to me, when I look at it, it's like, okay, let's break this down to the lowest common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
They're video games. So we all know that
Oh, I
there are
thought you were
games out
talking
there.
about the gamers when
There
you
are
said
games
lowest
out there
common
that
denominator.
have Mario aesthetics and are fun as hell, aka Splatoon, and there are shooters out there that look ultra realistic based on a future dystopian alien future and are boring as shit. Red Killzone. So you got these two games, and I've even had a person insult me saying that I must be either gay or a pedophile because I play Splatoon. Because I prefer that colorful shooter. I'm one of those two things. There is no way a grown ass man would play that game.
So I'm
Wow.
curious.
See, that's
So I'm curious
disturbing because last time I checked, I'm a married man with a child, but I have no interest in little children or other men. But I really love Splatoon.
So my question is this: like that same person, because it's a Nintendo exclusive and obviously on Nintendo console, would he say the same if someone that's like Doc's age picked up Crash Insane Trilogy on PS?
Oh, to be clear, did this person say this to your face or over the internet?
Oh, of course it's over the internet. They don't talk shit in person. What they're too pussy.
Well, the thing is,
That's what I thought.
if these people are
Guys,
talking
let's be real,
about,
Doc. You as big as me. You're a tall motherfucker.
if these
I didn't realize
people
you were
are
that tall.
if these people are talking about Splatoon being too colorful, then these are the same people who cheer for that crappy looking Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I'm sorry, the art style just doesn't work for me.
I mean, but see, that's the problem. And then even people like Naughty Dog, we're not going to make those type of games anymore with that aesthetic art style or kitty look or whatever. How's it
And
working
they
out?
bragged about the shit. They were like, "Yeah, we don't have to make kitty games anymore." Never mind that, like, if you combine the sales of Uncharted versus their sales of Crash Bandicoot, believe it or not, they sold more Crash Bandicoot games than Uncharted. But whatever, no one's gonna talk about that. Made more profit off of Crash Bandicoot.
And then we're on that subject. Didn't another Little Big Planet launch like a year or so ago? That's not exactly a man's game, but you guys were hyping it up like it was.
People were loving, people were hyping up this game. Oh, this is, they were making Mario mods in that game. It's just like.
But and I remember them hyping up Knack before it launched. Yeah, platformer. That's a man's game.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because it's a Mario killer. As long as it's a Mario killer or a Zelda killer, whatever killer, it's then.
Look, Sony called it that. Okay, no one else called it that.
No one else called it that.
Yeah, anyone who played Knack realized it's a fine game. Literally, like Knack should have been a pack-in title with the PlayStation 4. It wasn't. You had to go out and pay $60 for that shit. It's a 10 to 15 hour long game.
Hold on, Red Fox. So you mean to tell me the PS4 when it launched didn't include any game in the box whatsoever?
No, it didn't.
I thought it did. Well, I thought it did because people are still saying that the Switch doesn't come with a game, and that's just not with the times.
I do have to.
There was a
it had pixie dust.
Yeah,
but bundle, but you had to pay more for it.
But the Knack bundle was retail specific. It wasn't from Sony themselves. That was like people like basically giving that was retailers putting that together.
You mean giving it the GameStop treatment?
Basically, yeah. I mean, retailers are allowed to say, look, can we take these two games and create bundles from these companies? They're allowed to do that, but these are not like, okay, remember when we were kids and you got your Super Nintendo and you brought that shit home and you opened it and you put everything together and it came with Super Mario World, or later editions came with Super Mario All-Stars or something like that? That is a pack-in bundle. That means it's officially from the company. Take this game. When you bought your Wii, it came with fucking Wii Sports. That is an official bundle. That means it came with that fucking game. Systems today don't really do that, and it sucks that the Switch doesn't come with that.
Yeah,
well, no,
but
it's not that.
But the Wii U did. The Wii U actually came with Nintendo Land, of course.
If you bought the premium
like you said, it's not typical. But to be honest, the only system that's actually been doing that, for the most part, the only company has been Nintendo.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think the only exception to that was what was it, the GameCube and 64?
Even the 3DS,
they didn't have any.
Even the 3DS at launch had face raiders, which I mean, to be fair, it's a game where you shoot balls at people's heads. But hey, it's fun.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with laying some balls on people's foreheads.
Hey, I can say this: Space Raiders is a lot better than Playroom. I tell you that much.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Because at least Space Raiders, you can have safe for work fun, putting balls on people's heads. People have been using Playroom for all types of illicit activities.
and then, like I said, another thing that gets to me about what the Switch is lacking in comparison to the consoles.
Okay, it's
I
not
don't give a
talking
shit
about my
who you are. I
BS2.
don't care what kind of gamer you are. If you like to play games, if you buy consoles because you at least want to play a game, whether you are new, bro, casual, whatever. Has anyone in here or in the chat ever bought a system strictly because it had Netflix on it?
Nope.
Netflix
How about
is on your
Amazon?
toaster.
Amazon, Hulu.
No.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm just
Wait,
making
wait,
something.
Because I gotta, I gotta.
I did buy my PlayStation 2 for the DVD player. It was cheaper to buy a
That makes
PlayStation
sense.
2 than to buy
Hey,
a
hey,
DVD
look,
player.
that makes sense because DVD players were anywhere between $600 to $1,000 at the time.
Yeah.
Sony took a loss on that shit.
So I was
But
like, shit, I
have you
got both my
ever,
system
since the
and the DVD in one.
7th and 8th gen, did you buy any one of these consoles because you could watch Netflix on it, even though you had Netflix
Nope.
on your
For
smartphone,
their
your
for their
tablet?
No,
for their secondary features, basically. Did you buy a console for anything except for gaming on it? And I think all of us here will say no, we didn't, except for maybe some
But
extreme
but
circumstance.
but somehow, some way, this guy thinks that a casual, which is a mass public that supposedly supports Nintendo, are the ones they should be catering to, and therefore, when they go buy a console, the first thing they're gonna look for is social media features and or Netflix, Hulu, Amazon. I'm sorry, those things are
moving
secondary.
goalpost.
I don't think anyone has ever said that. Period. And if you want to be on the topic of that, didn't the Xbox 360 before they changed their policies require you to have fucking live to watch Netflix, which you were already paying for? Yeah, I think the public was looking for that one. I don't think so, buddy. They're simply saying, as you said, Shep, moving goalposts. At the end of the day, if you're not going to buy the system for whatever reason,
Just don't
shut the
fucking
fuck up
buy
and
it.
don't
Yeah.
just shut the fuck up and don't buy it. But
Yeah.
don't try to spread these bullshit reasons of why a system is rushed or incomplete or
Well,
not worthwhile, not worth the purchase at launch. You should wait. If you want to wait, then fucking wait. I won't
exactly.
say shit to
The,
you.
the issue, what I said it in another cast, that actually two of you gentlemen were with me, is that a lot of these people are insecure.
Yep.
So they need to fit in with other people. And
Hmm.
they're willing to compromise their own standards as long as they fit in.
Well,
And Nintendo is nowhere near popular. So
yep.
in order for them to get validation, they got to roll with the cool crowd. And if it
Yep.
makes them feel good to make fun of Nintendo, then have a bunch of people run behind them and say, yeah, man, yeah, that was funny. Yeah, these
But see,
Nintendo...
Chef, here's where my issue comes in at with this particular person. I'm still talking about the same person.
I know you are. I know exactly what you're talking about. But I don't know why
when
you're
you
wasting
run
your
your
time
ass
on that
around
idiot.
here, but when you run your ass around here making videos talking about Nintendo Redirect and Nintendo just don't get it. No, they just don't give a shit about you.
Exactly.
And then hold on.
Okay.
This is the part. This is the part that
Doc,
really
you
got
know,
to me. This part right here. This person said, "Look, at the end of the day, you know, I may or may not get the Switch, however it goes, but Nintendo needs to cater to this crowd or whatever. It's the same shit we always hear back and forth. And I'm just thinking, at the end of
okay.
the day, man, they're gonna do what they want to do.
Can I
And if you don't like
interject?
it,
You're my boy, and I don't want to like disrespect you, but at the same time, I need to say this, and I need to be clear on this. Do you go to a high school and argue with a high school junior? You a grown man. Do you go to a middle school and fuss with a middle schooler that you have no clue about other than that person's there? No. Why are you wasting your time with these children?
true.
You can't look. You
And
can't argue
Listen,
logic.
the whole thing is this,
you have a
bro.
point there.
These people are arguing strictly from opinion and popularity.
Yeah, you
If you are
can't.
not speaking along those lines, you will never get through to them.
Yeah, you can't argue logic with people who are
You,
illogical. You
you're
can't. You
trying
can't
to
do it.
exactly. You're trying to drop facts, and they're just looking at you like, "Oh, you're just making
It's like
excuses."
it's like trying to stick a square peg into a round hole. it doesn't work. You smash it, smash. It doesn't do shit.
Well,
Wow.
a little bit of lube, you work around it. You give her a little some. You can make it work.
Well, I was talking about that. I was talking about that shape game we played when we were kindergartners, where you had to put the right shape into the right hole in order to prove that you weren't a fucking idiot. And one of them was, but there was always that one kid who ate the Play-Doh and glue and tried to stick a square peg into a round hole. And it's like that kid ain't gonna be right. He ain't gonna grow up. He's gonna grow up and have have a job where his name is on his shirt. You have to look down at it in order to see what his name is.
Okay. Well, so you're referring to the football argument.
Let me say this though, just to wrap up this particular topic. I'm being serious. Like, honestly,
into a hole.
Like, all honesty, I have nothing against people like Richard Review Tech, Shokio, Real Gamer. I have nothing against these people personally at all. I respect them as people. Period. Do I respect their gaming prowess or knowledge? Hell to the no. I don't. So I respect them as people. Don't get it twisted. I really do. I do not go out and disrespect anyone's community.
I don't.
I will address them in their bullshit, but I would never ever call them out their name and do shit like that. I don't do that.
I don't care. You're too
nice. My thing. Oh, go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
No, but that's just me. Like, regardless of what I may say, when I bring up the stuff that you may say in your videos, because I don't ever make response videos to people. I don't, and I never will. I never will make a response video to someone. If I bring up your shit, it's because I have something to say. But if you want to say something about me, just know it won't be heard. It really won't. I'm going to get a disclaimer. If you make a response video, it won't be heard. Because to me, you're unvalidated. You have no credentials to me that give me reason to hear your opinion. You just don't.
Yep.
But so just keep that out there for the ones listening. If you're friends with these people, you're sub to them, you want to run back and tell them, that's perfectly fine. I don't really give two shits. But just know that overall, I do respect them as people. But as gamers, they get no respect from me. None.
You're like Smokey from Friday. I don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck.
I don't. And like I say, this is not me trying to start flame wars. It's not. But there are times where you just see like people. How do you have a cold hard facts from the horse's mouth, and you still got negative shit to talk?
Because let's keep it real. Okay. Let's just take out our. Okay, let's just look at reality. Okay, the Switch is going to be very popular and probably hard to find for the next month, 2 months, maybe even 3 months. It's gonna be the hot thing for at least this summer. Okay, especially if Nintendo continues to drop bomb after bomb after bomb. If they drop Splatoon in June,
dude,
Splatoon 2 in June.
Between Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Splatoon, they're gonna clear a couple million alone.
Oh shit! More than that, I think by the end of summer, before they roll into the holiday season, this thing will be at least 4 million, 3 to 4 million, 3 to 4 million easy. And then if they say, "Hey guys, guess what? Mario Odyssey coming out this Christmas, this holiday season, like maybe November 28th, maybe December 11th when it drops." Look, that's going to be the Christmas game to have. And people will buy a system for Mario games because Mario is still like the most. It's one of the biggest first party IPs in the industry right now. Okay, if not the biggest.
Blind test. People recognize Mario over Mickey.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact of the matter is that it's gonna be popular, and they're getting in their last sucker punches right now because because all they did was shit on the Wii U. Even though I'm gonna keep it real, I've played on the Xbox One, I've played on the PlayStation 4, and I'm gonna keep it. One of the reasons I don't own one of those consoles is because to me, I haven't had nearly as much fun on those consoles as I've had on my Wii U and my PC. Sorry. Enough said, okay? Now, I know other people may disagree, and that's your opinion, but for me, like, I don't give a shit about those two consoles. The games on them, I can get on my PC, and the exclusives kind of fucking suck. Like, Halo 5 wasn't that good. It wasn't. Come on. Let's not beat around the bush. Oh, it wasn't that good, okay? Uncharted 4 is fucking Uncharted. I mean, what? It's pretty, but it's Uncharted. I mean, is there anything new that was added to the series? Not really.
No.
So I mean, like, in Last of Us, that's a 7th gen game. So I mean, there is no reason for me to. And here's the thing: a lot of the games that I would have gotten a PS4 for are also coming to PC. So once again, what fucking reason do I have to buy these consoles? Zero. None. If 85 to 95% of the library is coming to PC, and I have a PC,
don't you want to be cool? Then you want to be in the in crowd.
Look, you said it earlier. We were gaming when gaming wasn't cool. We were gaming where you'd have to go to the playground and say, "Hey, man, I was playing Street Fighter last night." And if someone said, "Hey, I was playing it too," you were like, "Yeah, we can talk about this. We can have a dialogue." It was like almost like a secret code word or some shit.
Or if they weren't playing Street Fighter, they'll be playing Street Fighter in real life. Because, you know, what's a bunch of nerds doing sitting around playing video games? A bunch of social rejects.
Yeah, but
no one ever said that to us. It was just like, it was just like, hey, I don't play video games. I play sports. It's like, and then you'd have to see. Here's the thing: you'd have to interact with people in real life, and then you'd have to talk about sports. And here's the thing: even though I may have many of the qualities that people associate with nerds, I can talk football, basketball, a little bit of baseball. I can't say shit about soccer.
See, it's hilarious because you're the opposite of me. If you don't know me and you meet me on the street, you think, oh, this guy was blah, 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 sports guy, blah, blah, blah. And they meet me and they're like, wait a minute, you're actually a nerd? Yup.
You're an old taku.
I could give a darn about sports. I'll sit down and read a book for 5 hours any day about watching a football game.
Well, I'm more of a Renaissance man because I read books, I read comics, I do sports, I play video games.
Yeah, I don't care about all the other shit you guys claim to be. At the end of the day, you're fucking gamer, okay?
How dare you, sir? I am more than just a gamer. I also read. No, I'm joking. But yeah,
I'm a wine connoisseur.
Well, actually, speaking of games, though, here's the next topic regarding the Switch. How do you guys feel about this asshole that leaked the Wii U version of Breath of the Wild?
Nintendo's gonna Nintendo's gonna hire Liam Neeson. They're gonna create a time machine, get him for the first Taken Liam Neeson, and he's gonna be like, I have a particular set of skills. I will find you, I will kill you, and then I will send your head to your family. Click.
Actually,
they're gonna do that old
people like that. I feel sorry for them because they're so fucked.
The Nintendo.
But my thing, but to me, why couldn't he just wait? Like, okay, we would all love to have this game a week ago, a month ago, hell, a year ago.
Notorious. Everybody wants to be notorious.
At the end of the day,
if Kenoshi was going to say something, we cut him off. What was Kenoshi?
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Kenoshi.
I was going to say that the Nintendos are going to find him and use that old medieval torture device where they take out your entrails and make you look at them as you're slowly dying.
Disembowelment. Here's the thing: they're Japanese, and the Japanese have some really neat tortures. They're gonna put this guy. They're gonna make this guy kneel, right? Kneel in such a way so that his feet are like the back halves of your legs are under your buttocks, and then they're gonna stack concrete bricks on this guy's legs, like in excess of 200, 300 pounds, crushing his legs and causing severe pain, but it doesn't kill you. And I think
that's old school.
Yeah, that's Japanese old school.
I've seen that.
See,
I've heard of it. Sorry, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I'm a otaku, but I also know a little bit of Japanese history. So yeah, they're gonna find this guy and he's gonna be like, was it worth it? And probably Reggie's gonna be up there. Is your body ready for these bricks?
Yeah, I don't understand why these people have to commit seppuku for their careers, or why just popularity? Why just leave it alone? Why not just say, yeah, I got Zelda
people
early.
Are stupid and they want their attention.
Yeah,
negative attention is still attention.
It's like that guy who got that Switch early. If he had shut the fuck up and hadn't been posting pictures, he could still be enjoying his Switch. And then when tomorrow came, midnight, he could have been like, yeah, I got my Switch too, yeah. And no one would have been the wiser. He needed to share. He needed to get his hit in. He's like, I need money. And yet you could buy a stolen Switch. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, it's just,
if you're broke and you're complaining about how you need money, why are you buying video game consoles? Because video gaming, I mean, like, here's the thing, okay? I've always had expensive hobbies, even as a kid. I mean, I was a D&D fan back in the day when the books were like $100 a pop. Like the player's manual was like $130, $150. So I've always had kind of expensive hobbies. And the thing is, except you'd use these books for years, kind of like a console. So, I mean, I know expensive hobbies. And, I mean, if you're hard up for money, why the fuck are you getting into an expensive hobby? That's like someone saying, man, my house is about to get foreclosed on and my job's cutting back hours. I'm going to get into train collecting, which is one of the most expensive hobbies on the planet. I mean, why would you do that? That makes no sense.
And that actually makes perfect sense because these people don't make sense. Period.
But I mean, but to me, it's like if you get the game, you get to play it. Fine, you one lucky bastard. I wish I could see you in person because I would definitely rob you. But you could have played the game,
Make
not
it feel
posted
good.
stuff online and spoiled it for a lot of people because,
You
like
you
myself,
can admit online that you will rob someone.
hey,
Yeah,
I
man.
would if I saw someone shoot with that game, yeah, I probably would.
Breath of the Wild, but you're getting your own, dude. Why would you?
That's
Yeah, I
right.
know, but
Breath of the Wild was
I could have
See,
handled.
pirated.
see, the proper way to do it is I'm gonna meet you at the park, right? And we're gonna fight it out, and the winner gets the system. That's acceptable.
Her Breath of the Wild was pirated too. Yeah, it was pirated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I went to a website because sometimes I have to do dark. I have to go to dark places. It's not pirated. The quote
the
unquote
asset.
crack. No, the quote unquote crack to play it was pirated. The actual information has not been officially dumped quite as yet. And even if they did, do you honestly think that shit's gonna run well or at all? Really,
And
seriously?
you know what? Now that you mentioned the Red Fox, here's another thing I've been dealing with yesterday and today. You know, you got people saying that, like someone in some post said, well, should I get a Wii U or a Switch? And then someone said, well, you can't find a Wii U now. And then somebody else said, well, don't worry about that. He says you can hack the Wii U anyway. I said, well, the Wii U hasn't been fully hacked. And I don't know anything about this. I'm not some programmer or anything like that. But and I said, well, it hasn't been fully hacked at all. He said, yes, it has actually. I said, so show me proof that you are running everything without a single pixel missing, without a single frame hiccup, without any issues where level one works and level two doesn't. Show me this shit. And guess what?
Yes, please.
Well, they already leaked Breath of the Wild online. People are already playing it. I say, well, I think some of the assets got out, but the actual game itself was not dumped online.
Yeah, please show. Like, here's the thing. And I'm someone who, like, I have friends who legitimately create emulators because there's nothing illegal about creating emulators, and like most of them are open source. And you know what? Like, I know for a fact that GameCube emulation, Wii emulation, and Wii U emulation at this point are really fucking hard to do. I think within the next 2 or 3 years they might be able to make a 3DS emulator that emulates the 3DS perfectly, but like they haven't quite cracked that node as of yet. But I mean, they'll get it eventually. And here's the thing: I have nothing against emulation because some people want a game and they don't have a lot of money. And some games are really rare or not reprinted, and you want to play it. Someone's like, "Oh, that's a good game," but like it's out of your price range. I have nothing against people emulating, but don't fucking tell me that it's as good as the real thing, because it isn't. It isn't. Star Fox. Star Fox is one of my favorite games, but apparently they can't put it on a modern console because to emulate it, like Nintendo's like, we can't emulate, even though it's a very emulatable game. So I don't, whatever.
Emulation is best for like preservation when stuff starts like deteriorating.
Yeah, but see, people, I don't know why that's always a cop out. Like, I guess you guys, I'm sure you saw that video where some dude posted said, "I regret not buying the Wii U," and of course, yeah, some people out there recommending he just emulate It's like, dude, trust me. You're selling yourself short as it is. You want to go the emulation route. You better just go to Nintendo's website and buy a damn refurbished one and call
Yep.
it a day. But
Yeah.
relying on emulation, that's like trying to soft mod your phone. You got to constantly update it and change shit. It's just not worth the trouble right now. The GameCube, like you said, Red Fox, it's still difficult, and that shit's been gone for 15 years,
Exactly. I mean, that's a console from literally
almost 2 decades.
14 years ago. No, 14 years. 14
It
years.
released in 2001. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. 16. That was 15. That was 16 years ago. The GameCube, they still cannot perfectly emulate a GameCube. Think about that. There are games you can. And here's the thing with that vaunted Dolphin emulator that a certain person got into one of these OGLs and was like, yeah, it's perfectly. I'm like, you use a line, motherfucker. They are not perfectly emulating GameCube games with a Dolphin emulator. Because I've seen Dolphin emulators, even the latest ones with the latest plugins and all that shit, and they still can't do Mario Sunshine.
And this person I'm talking about, he even said that they already have GameCube games and Wii games running on the Wii U. I said, well, hold a fucking minute. The Wii U can already play Wii games. You don't need to emulate that shit.
So what's the point?
But we said GameCube games. I was like, well, it does have a Wii in it, so I could probably say how that works. I say, but I have to see proof of that. Show me them putting in a GameCube game or whatever and running that shit in the Wii U. I don't really think it's gonna work. You have to prove it to me. But at this point, it's easy to find a Wii. Why would you have to emulate a GameCube game in a Wii U? We just buy a damn Wii and just put the damn disc in there, running just fine. Why emulate a Wii in a Wii U when it already plays Wii games?
Well, actually,
out of the box.
Okay, once again, I gotta bring this up to you, gentlemen. You're trying to use logic and facts with people who think purely off of opinion and feelings. I just want to point that out. Continue.
Stop ruining the fun, man. Damn you.
I'm just so done with these idiots.
Trust me, I know. And like I say, you know me. I haven't done shit in a while. But as I said,
No, you've been. I'll give you that.
But the only reason I did today because, like I said, that person responded to me. So I said, this will be the first time. Let me see exactly where his mind is. And when I saw his mind was still in the gutter, I said, yeah, you're still full of shit. You're still full of shit.
He gives the same BS arguments. I love it though. The one thing that pisses me off is he tries to speak in a logical manner. So people aren't aware of his BS, fall for it. Because what he does is he will systematically list things, and he will enunciate things perfectly, and he'll sound professional. So everybody's like, oh my god, he knows so much. He's been gaming. Blah, blah, blah. No, listen to the actual words. He's saying the same shit,
and
just in a different way.
You know what else that he admitted that really just made me just say, okay, that's it. And I called him out on, but then I just killed the argument at that point. I said, you admitted that basically, you said, I'm not chasing subs. I want to do that. I would have done this. He says, the only reason my sub count went up is because I went negative. So you just admitted to going negative. I say, only the place I hear that term or phrase is when someone's running for office and, of course, going negative to slander someone else, to garner attention to you and bad attention to them.
Yep.
So what you just admitted in front of a lot of people is that some point in the past, you decided to go negative when it comes to Nintendo. But you were calling this being critical of them.
Well, of course, because you see, being a positive Nintendo channel that lists facts and enthusiasm, it's an uphill battle. It's an uphill battle.
But guess what?
For every one subscriber you
he said that too.
There's like 25 that are negative.
But see, no. Check this out. He mentioned that too. He said, if you notice in a YouTube community, he says the people that have the most subs are those that are overly positive about Nintendo. I said, I don't know what community you've been in, but I said strictly Nintendo, active gamer life, shit, gamers at large. There are a number of communities, there are a number of channels that I love and listen to on a weekly basis whenever they have a video or podcast.
And most of us are under a couple thousand.
under a couple. I said there are a few that may have around 10, 20,000, like the same Game Freak, but that's it. I said, dude, the ones that have the most subs are people
negative.
like Rich,
Yep.
or half a million.
Yep. The negative
Like,
ones. The negative ones are the ones that, like, okay, occasionally you'll have a big YouTuber that is, they might be very more positive towards Nintendo.
like CND, basically.
Well,
He's like 140,000 or whatever.
No, I'm thinking someone bigger than that. The only big YouTuber that I can think of that actually actively talks about how they love Nintendo and gets
Black Nerd
is Andre Black Nerd Comic. That's the only dude I know that actually has that gets positive. Even the dudes who claim to be huge Nintendo fans, Game Explain, spent the last year and a half shitting on the Wii U and their games. So it's like,
Yep.
I mean, where are you?
pattern.
So he said that. I was literally like, dude, what community have you been living in? Because
What has he been living
I was
in?
there. I was there when you were positive. I was there
he's
before you went negative.
Listen, he created his own universe where it's all about Shokyo and Shokyo's opinion. And actually, I don't like talking about people like him because what's going to happen is if we garner any attention, you're going to be like, oh, the reason so many people watch it because you're talking about me. No, actually, I would like not to say your name. Same like a certain person who rhymes with Easy. Y'all are disgusting. I cannot stand you. I want nothing to do with you. But unfortunately, we brought you up to make a point. You suck.
Yep.
And if I ever see you in real life, I would ignore you. I wouldn't even talk to you. I would just ignore you like you wouldn't exist. I'll just walk past you.
Here's the hilarious thing about all of this, though, is that basically is that like all these people, to get back to what Doc said, originally said, well, we're being critical of them. Here's the thing. I have nothing against people being critical against a game company. But here's the thing. If you're going to be critical of a game company, be critical towards all of them. Bring up how Microsoft's been fucking up, because believe me, they have been fucking up. Bring up how Sony's been fucking up, like how you can sell a console that basically has no killer apps. Because in my opinion, the PlayStation still has no killer apps.
Well, they just got their second one, and that's from what I hear is Horizon after Uncharted.
That is your opinion. I have a very, like, Guerrilla Games for me makes games that are pretty, but then you scratch past the surface and it's like Avatar the fucking movie. Avatar the movie is a gorgeous looking movie, but then you look at the story, the characters, the insipid character development, and it's like, this movie's gorgeous, but aside from that, it's garbage.
And as a Marine, that character pissed me off.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous movie. Graphically, it's gorgeous, but the story is ass. And here's the thing. Movies are about more than how pretty it looks, because some of the best movies of all time are not necessarily the most graphically intensive. For example, which version of Star Wars does everyone like? The originals, more or less. The new shit where they change shit and I can make this better. People get mad about that. It's like, look, I like the smudges and the dirt and how that looked kind of shitty, but we went with it because we enjoyed that. We enjoyed that little crappiness right there.
But you're being a Star Wars elitist right now.
Okay, Indiana Jones.
For the record, I'm not
like the original version of
Indiana. For the record, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just stating simply you're sounding like a Star Wars elitist.
People like the original Indiana Jones trilogy. For most people, that fourth movie never happened. But the fourth movie, and what's the most brought up thing people talk about that fourth movie? The CGI monkeys. But that was technology. That was better graphics, and people fucking hate it. Okay, so I mean, look, listen.
Fine,
okay.
if you're gonna go with that route, let's talk about Breath of Fire and how it stopped at Breath of Fire 4, and there was nothing after that.
Exactly.
Nothing. There was
nothing happened after 4. You're absolutely right. Nothing happened after 4. Nothing.
Hey, you know this went down the drain too, and it went down the drain in flames. That NBA Live, how pretty it got.
Yeah.
But that gameplay couldn't even fucking match that 2K, and then EA even canceled the game.
I want a rebirth of NBA Jam.
They tried to bring it back, but modern gamers don't want to play modern gamers don't want to play an arcadey because EA got rid of their big studio.
What about NFL Blitz?
That was Tiburon. EA bought them out and then absorbed them and broke the studio up. So all the people who made the games we love to play that were fun. It's a dirty, dirty word. Go rub oil all over yourself because it's dirty. Basically, they're gone. The fun developers are either gone or they got bought out. I mean, Rare made some of the most fun games I ever enjoyed, but Microsoft bought them, and well, Ukulele comes out in a few months, hopefully, knock on wood, and that's going to be the first Rare game I've played in years, even though Rare still exists in name.
Well, let's talk about something that's not Nintendo related.
Now I feel depressed. We need to change topics.
Well, we are, and we're going to talk about something that's not even related to Nintendo. At least I don't think it is. How you guys feel about that Injustice 2 DLC?
I was going to get that game, not at launch, but I was going to get it on PC because it had Swamp Thing in it. But now they have all this DLC. I mean, I don't know what
it's Warner Brothers.
Warner Brothers. Yeah, it's Warner Brothers. That's what they do. They
I want to like that game because they're adding cool characters, but oh my god,
they should have made it. They should have made it.
I like how Red Fox thought he was like, I want to get. It's Warner Brothers. It's Warner Brothers.
They should have made it free to. They should have made it free to play. If they're gonna.
You mean the Killer Instinct? No.
How would they make their money? We know what it is.
This is Warner Brothers.
No, what do they do to the DLC? Do they give a Street Fighter treatment to it?
No.
That'd be even worse. Shit.
No. Street Fighter would be actually.
Is it probably like an overpriced thing, kind of like Arkham? Is that what it is, or is it like a?
No, what they did is, I think it's like if you get the basic, you get like 1 or 2 characters. There's another. The next step up is like 4 or 5 characters that they're DLC. And I think like the Supreme Collector's Edition version comes like 6 to 8 DLC characters unlocked. So basically, about a good, I think it's like 25 to 30% of their roster, if not more than that, is locked behind DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Why is anyone surprised?
I mean, don't get me wrong. The DLC didn't surprise me. It's the fact that how far they went with it. Like you literally lock a big portion of your roster behind DLC. Not just 4 or 5 characters. You did more than that.
Well, Street Fighter V was a quote-unquote critical success in the competitive scene, so Warner Brothers is low enough to try it.
No, okay, let's put this into perspective. I don't think selling
I must commend it because you sound like you said that with a straight face.
I don't think selling 1 million in the first release month and then only 100,000 for the next 9 months is considered a success.
Can we keep it real?
Well, one thing I'm starting to learn is it's not exactly the volume of sales. It comes down to the profit. How much it cost them to create the game and how much they made off of the game.
Well, let's be fair. Sony helped them. Sony paid for them to help make the game, so it wasn't a loss. But
so Capcom, it was a massive success.
That's the thing. It wasn't a massive success because the amount of revenue generated by that game is less than Street Fighter 4. Way less. Like, I think it's maybe 15% of what Street Fighter 4 generated.
Well, that doesn't sound because Street Fighter 4 has like 5 different iterations.
And it's on multiple systems. The worst performing Street Fighters are the ones that were only on one system. Okay, Street Fighter 3 Third Strike was originally a Dreamcast exclusive. It's one of the worst performing Street Fighter games.
How much you bet Ultra Street Fighter 2 that's coming out is going to clear over 2 million?
No problem, because it's Street Fighter 2. Look, Capcom hasn't fucked up Street Fighter 2 yet.
Okay. See why'd you have to throw yet in there?
I'm
getting worried.
The team working on this game are the people who worked on Street Fighter 5, and considering that turd, look.
Okay, you know what? You're not allowed to talk anymore because you just keep depressing me.
It makes me happy that someone at Capcom popped up and said, "Look, you guys effed up this game. Okay, we need to go back to basics. None of this weird ass Unreal Engine shit, and we're gonna go back. Look." This is the game that made us what we are. okay? Because the original Street Fighter is garbage, okay? It's not a very good game. But Street Fighter 2 is when shit got real, okay, for
I
everybody.
feel like playing Street Fighter 5 all of a sudden. Let me turn up Splatoon.
Yeah, go play Street Fighter 5. Anyway, Street Fighter 2, and they're like, look, go. This is when we were at the top of our game. Learn it, play it, remake a version that has all this shit in it. Go for it.
I'm lying. I'm about to play Blaze Blue.
I'm not lying about the whole. Well, that's more of a Street Fighter game than Street Fighter 5 is.
I know.
Look, listen. That's what we have to deal with now, and we just have to deal with it. That's just the way it is. It is what it is.
I hate that phrase so much.
It is what it is. It doesn't. It's not really a phrase that makes a whole lot.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. It's like saying, "So be it." Reality is reality. To be.
It's a messed up, sad new way of saying "que sera, sera."
Basically, yeah. Whatever will be. Yeah.
Oh, there will be.
Whatever will be. Que sera, sera.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always annoying when people say this. It's like this is what it is. Like,
Well, you know what? Someone earlier mentioned they wanted something along the lines of NBA Jam, and Dr. Trey made a video mentioning that he saw an indie title that wasn't shown in the reel or mentioned, but it was on the list. NBA Playgrounds. It wasn't shown in the reel, and it was not mentioned, but it has the official NBA logo, and it said Playgrounds. And I'm really hoping either it's Nintendo's version of it or they somehow, some way brought back that magic of NBA Street or NBA Jam. I'm only wishing for those three. I don't want any realistic shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it's like NBA Jam, I'm gonna be so happy because I still have like Showtime Jam Tournament Edition on Saturday. I still have those. But if they reinvented those for
a modern age,
I mean, dude. I may spend as much time on that online if it has online play. Because the NBA Jam with online play, that shit will be epic.
And here's one thing: if you're gonna get into the announcer, I need the announcer from the original game.
So, what did you guys think of Master Blasters and Retro City Rampage? Essentially.
Oh, dude, it's fucking awesome.
And their original forms too. They look like classic games. It's like
except with a modern aesthetic. It's like it's I call it the Shovel Knight treatment. The Shovel Knight treatment is the idealized 8-bit game. But here's the thing: no NES could do what Shovel Knight was doing because the technology just wasn't there. But these are our memories. What we were playing when we were little kids. Even though if you played those games now, you'd be like, how the fuck did I play this?
there was. They obviously took liberties with colors and save spaces and probably some other
parallax scrolling and some special effects that you just didn't really have. There's some mode 7, some mode 11, some mode 8, some mode 9. It's an idealized 8-bit game.
We can at least pretend that this is a perfect representation of what
what we grew up with. Yeah.
I mean, but dude, to me, when I seen these games and this indies reel, all I could think about, I said, Nintendo, please go talk to Sega. Go talk to them. It will be nice to have a new beat 'em up or an HD Streets of Rage. It will be so nice to have those games. When I saw, Hawaii, Showdown, and so I'm like, I can't wait to get my hands on these games because, they may not be graphically impressive and look like Uncharted, but god damn it, they look so fun.
At this point, I would be happy, and this is a gripe that I do have about the Switch. It would be nice to have a fucking virtual console so I could play Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3.
Well, good thing you have a Wii U. You can do that right now.
2 and 3. Yeah, but man, that's just too many wires coming out my TV.
Hold on. And also, and if you like me, because I have those on, the Wii Virtual Console, but I also have the Sega Ultimate Collection on the PS3, which has Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3.
Look, I have those games as well on my PC with the Sega Ultimate Collection that I got off a Humble Bundle for like $10 in like 63 games. Fucking ridiculous. I have those games too. I have the original Streets of Rage 1, 2, and 3. The cartridges from my Sega Genesis. I have these games, but here's the thing, man. My TV only has so many ports I can stick shit in. Okay. and connect, okay? And the more shit that I can consolidate into as few devices as humanly possible, the better it is, because I don't want my shit to be cluttered, okay? It's like I'm already kind of cluttered on my desk and stuff like that. I like at least one part of my house to have some order, okay?
So
when it comes to that
explains why you like the Wii U.
And the Wii
U,
because
tons of shit you can play on the Wii U.
I mean,
multiple generations of consoles.
I like the Wii and the Wii U because all that shit, like I have access to TurboGrafx 16. Now here's the thing: I have a lot of those games on my TurboGrafx. Well, I have a PC and not a TurboGrafx PC engine. But you know what? It's so much easier just to boot up a menu and choose what I want and play it on one box than to go and hook all this shit and have to get connectors and have to splicers and splitters, and I mean that's
not to mention that you have to. Not to mention that you have to jerry-rig it to make it look good on your HD TV.
Exactly. Because all the TVs in my house. I mean, that's not true. I have one CRT TV in a spare bedroom that I use for my really old shit that it just doesn't look right if I try to, even with the up resolution, it just doesn't look right. So, look, listen, okay, look. Unlike Doc, who apparently has all his shit all laid out, I don't have that luxury, and I also don't have the time to do that. For me, I have a room where I keep all my old shit with the CRT TV.
If you allow me and if you're willing to fly me out there, man, I will hook your shit up where you never have to hook anything ever again.
No, that's okay because, look, listen, I'm an entitled
Are you denying my work, guys?
These people...
No, he's saying that you black and you're from Texas and he don't trust you in his house.
No. I'm an entitled gamer. These people need to cater to me. I need these consoles to be ultra backwards battle. If Nintendo made a console like the Omni Nintendo that played everything, including the gen that it was for, I'd totally buy that shit. Even if it was $800, I'd be like, yeah, sure, why not? Like actually physically or digitally backwards battle, I'd totally buy that shit.
That'd probably be next. That'd be the one that's a Switch.
Oh yeah, that's the thing.
It plays everything, and Nintendo could literally say it plays everything. That's the it plays everything.
Whether it's a 3DS game or original Game Boy or Nintendo.
It plays everything, everywhere at any time.
The Nintendo
except for Virtual Boy.
It plays even the Virtual Boy. It plays.
Then you need an attachment.
No, dude, if they port Virtual Boy, if Nintendo tries to port a Virtual Boy game to any one of their consoles, I am going to send them a very bad letter. I'm telling you.
You never played
I really want to play that Wario Land game.
You know what? No, actually, I want it.
I heard that's an actually good game on there.
It's really good.
I actually want it.
Because here's the thing. I actually would love to see another Wario Land game because those Wario Smooth Move games, they're nice. They're mini game collections. They're fun. But I really want another Wario Land game or even a Wario World.
I want another Wario World.
Yeah, a Wario World. That was created by
Treasure.
Treasure, the people behind Gunstar Heroes and
Gunstar Heroes,
Radiant Silvergun and Ikaruga, and they're the people who used to work at Konami and made Super Castlevania 4, and which is like my favorite 16-bit Castlevania. I'm sorry, Symphony of Night, go fuck yourself.
I don't understand. I guess I need to play the game longer, but like I tried playing Symphony of the Night and just didn't feel right.
Didn't click with you.
Especially coming off of Super Metroid and how that game feels game wise, control wise, it's like, not for me.
I want Prisoners of War, but reimagined. You guys remember that? The arcade game? I know you do, Red Fox.
But what game was it? What?
Prison of War. When it broke out of the sun, they started beating everybody up.
I don't.
Wasn't it kind of?
I remember that game.
I think Capcom made it. Or was it Konami?
Well, there is this game coming on the Switch that's where you're escaping from prison.
You mean
Escapist 2? Yeah, I have Escapist on Xbox.
Like except they need to add an M-rated version of the game where you're in prison and you're trying not to get taken up.
We're gonna completely derail. And Red Fox, you can give your outro first.
You need to toss that cell. No. So basically, I'm gonna be doing a podcast Saturday. Well, those of us who have a Switch will be talking about how we feel about the console, and real talk. But our complaints will be based upon reality and how we feel about it actually. So we'll talk about the good, the bad, the quirky, and what we want to see in the future of the console. Because here's the thing, no matter what anyone says, any console at launch is not what it is when it reaches 3, 4, 5 years into its life cycle. For example,
that's why doing a day one console review and never doing another console review after that's dumb.
Yeah,
you should do
day one now and then one like a year later or something.
Basically
6 months to a year later review.
Hey, if that happened, the PS4 and Xbox One would get failing grades.
Yeah, none of these consoles are now. The PS4 and the Xbox One aren't now. What they are now is not what they were when they launched. Okay, especially the Xbox One. Okay, especially the Xbox One.
Why are you guys so? And I'm actually not being facetious.
I only want for the PS4.
Why are you guys so hard on these consoles?
Well, because if I'm going to be critical, like, here's the thing. There's shit Nintendo's been doing that I'm critical of that bothers me, like the 32-bit memory, the 32 gig memory. That's not enough space. I'm sorry. That's not enough fucking space.
Yeah, there's no damage controlling for that.
Okay? And, I mean, I don't care what anyone says. So we'll be talking about those things Saturday, 7 to 9:30, hour and a half. Not too long, 7 to 8:30. Not too long, hour and a half. If we go a little bit over, it's fine. But because look, I know we're going to be diving back into Breath of the Wild. But if you can pull yourselves away from Breath of the Wild for a little bit, and for that podcast, it'll be nice because as Switch owners, we can say we pulled a switch, and it'll be fun.
I'll probably just be listening in because I won't have a day one edition of the Switch.
That's okay. That's all right. But you can join in and ask questions since you don't have them. So look forward to that. That's this Saturday. I have nothing else coming up. No videos. Yesterday, my last Foodie February video came out. It's a Blob double feature. The old one and the new one. Watch it. It's awesome. Okay, that's it. That's all the pimping I had to do. I had to put her on this. I had to put her on the corner. That's the only pimping I had to do.
All right, Perry, you're next.
Well, this is Perry Fan, local citizen of the internet. You can follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, Nintendo Network ID, all that stuff. PerryFan74, same place, same name everywhere. Follow me on Twitter because that's where I'm being most active right now. Playing through Neo. Just when I thought that game was done, it goes, "Hey, play through the entire game on super hard mode." I'm like, oh. And here's even more gear. I'm like, oh no. So great game. Check it out if you aren't planning on getting a Switch. Play Neo, not Horizon. It's better. It deserves more love. But anyway, and if you're tired of open world, play it because it's stage based, which is kind of a relief before all this open world madness begins. But anyway, yeah, get excited. Only 2 more days.
And one for me.
Unless you're going to a midnight launch. So you got like.
Go ahead, Kenoshi.
This is Kanashi Abominito here to say that we did not drink a certain sort of citrus fruit juice this podcast. And also I like to end off saying, we forgive, but we do not forget. We just change our perspective.
All right, not as trollish, but okay, I'll take it. And Shep?
I'm pissed off that we wasted so much time on these useless people.
I'm glad you were here, man.
Yeah, man, it's always good to hear from the shepherd.
I'm still pissed off. You will listen to me. I shall be upset. I'm not making any sense. But anyways, okay, let me get off of my pedestal. I do have actually 2 videos coming up. One video game related and one life related. And they're going to be brief previews to another videos. One of them, actually, I'm going to be doing a collaboration with the esteemed DrFeelGood. So,
oh, snap.
So look forward to it. It should be interesting. And that's it. Thanks for listening, yo.
All right. And as
I'm so pissed, though.
Dr. Feelgood, I want to thank all the viewers for tuning in. Those in the chat, thank you very, very much. You guys are great. I actually may do another one tomorrow because I did want to have the 50th one either right before or right after the Switch launch, but I thought it would be harder to get these bastards to come after Zelda launch because I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be answering their phones or their Google Plus feeds anyway. So I'll keep you guys posted. As I said, either tomorrow or after. But as I always say, keep it gaming, and please, people, stay away from the bullshit, please.
Yeah, we've already gone through 50 of these, almost 50 of these. That's crazy.
Yeah, yeah, man. But thank you all, you bastards.